A secret is something that only I know.
Hiding secrets when you're an addict is because you're shameful. You can't be honest with yourself or other people because you're in fear of judgment.
For 15 years, my best kept secret was that I hated myself.
I have never felt like I belonged anywhere.
I drove my kids home from a family birthday in a blackout. Even as I got behind the wheel, I knew I shouldn't do it. But there was always this voice in me that said, well, I can do this. You know, I can do this. And I certainly wasn't going to say to anybody, I'm too drunk to drive my children home. Somehow protecting that terrible secret was more important to me.
I had this facade of being this mother that was put together and took care of my children and worked at the nursery at church and went on the field trips. And on the outside, I felt like it was okay, and inside, I felt like I was going to die.
I never felt comfortable in my own skin. I was always masking it with drugs and alcohol to make myself feel better.
I felt guilty not being able to control what I was doing. I felt guilty for the fact that I couldn't take my kids to the park without being high and having my water bottle full of alcohol. I felt guilty for drinking and driving with them in the car all the time.
The biggest consequence of my addiction was how I felt about myself and my self-esteem and losing the trust of my family.
I woke up the next morning and I couldn't even remember half of the drive home. I didn't even remember putting my kids to bed that night. And that moment was the scariest moment I can recall in my life. I could not believe that I could have killed my kids that night because I was too drunk to drive.
You know, a lot of people will get sober through a DUI or something like that, and I never had a DUI, but I should have gotten one every day of my life.
I used every day just to get up and function.
I remember thinking, oh my God, my kid's mom is a drunk. It's like that feeling of, oh my God, I'm one of them.
I checked into the res and it changed my life. They saved my life.
I will never forget walking in the door at Residence XII. I will never forget that feeling. I remember thinking, I'm safe. I'm safe and I'm gonna make it.
It was very freeing to be honest about what I was doing in my addiction without people judging me. And not only did they not judge me, but they had done the same things.
I finally felt like I belonged because they all had the same story that I had. We were all addicts, and to sit in a room full of 25 women every morning and be able to share the deepest things in your life, your secrets, and feel safe is something that I wish for everyone. When I left the res, I felt like I was reborn. I felt like I could conquer the world. And I did everything that they told me. You know, I got a sponsor. I did 90 meetings in 90 days. I changed, you know, who I hung out with. I threw myself into the program. And, you know, when people ask me how I stay sober, it's as simple for me as I go to meetings and I don't use in between. It's a choice for me every day not to use, and I take it one day at a time. Extra foam, okay. For me, life in recovery is so fulfilling. I feel comfortable in my own skin for the first time in my entire life. I'm trustworthy, I'm honest, You know, I went from barely showing up to work to being promoted numerous times and finally becoming a store manager. All of that because of the res, and they gave me my life back. There you go. Thanks. My relationship with my parents has also come full circle. I mean, I have a great relationship with them. My family means the world to me. They are the most important and supportive family I could ever ask for.
I remember before I left, I said to one of the counselors, I'm going to come back and work here. I'm a resident manager now. I'm also managing the sober houses. I'm so thankful and grateful to Residence 12 and for my recovery because I'm able to help other people. I'm able to give other people what was given to me and to share the tools with other women in particular.
There's nothing that's south of us, so we're definitely going this way.
Today, I am a mother who's present. I love spending time with my kids. They are my friends now. You know, we enjoy being together, we laugh. You know, I went to Residence 12 for them, and I stayed for myself.
I will celebrate 26 years of recovery in mid-September. My sobriety is a gift. It's absolutely a gift. But it's a gift I'm supposed to share. And I absolutely know in my heart of hearts that that is why I'm clean and sober. Because I want other moms, other women, other people out there, I want them to know there's a way out of that. I want them to know they're not the only mom who wakes up in the morning and feels utter shame and self-loathing because they've driven their kids home drunk. People in recovery can be a light, and you can be as public or private about it as you wish. You may be somebody who ends up on a video telling some really painful history. The thing about recovery is that when you drop that pebble into the water, you never know whose life that ripple is going to touch. So when people make a contribution to Residence 12, they never know whose life they might save. But what I can promise them is they will save lives.